again, and welcome to Focus on Hernando. I'm Brenda Frazier, and today we're talking about a wonderful organization in Hernando County that's celebrating 25 years of service, and that's HPH Hospice. And it's a pleasure to introduce Rose Milks, who is the Regional Director of HPH Hospice, and Suzanne Henry. Welcome, and thanks for being here today. We really appreciate you coming in and talking about this special celebration that you have coming up very soon. This is the 25th year for HPH Hospice, right?
It is, and we're glad to be here.
And Rose, how long have you been with Hospice?
23 years.
23 years.
Yes.
Wow, so you've really risen up through the ranks, right?
I have.
And your title now, as I said, is Hernando's Regional Director.
Correct.
So that's a great step for you. It's a great position to have.
It is a lot of work and a great position.
Now, 23 years ago, when you first started working for Hospice, what were you doing at that point?
I was a nurse in the field.
A nurse?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I know that a lot of changes have taken place with Hospice, and right now the Chief Executive Officer is Tom Barb, who was the CEO for Brooksville Regional Hospital for a few years in Hernando County, and then he moved out of the county and came back as being with Hospice. So we're really happy to have him back again. How long has he been with us now?
He came in July of 2008.
Okay.
But he had been on our board of directors, so he did know about our wonderful organization.
That was really a good fit for him then to come back as the new director. Yeah. Suzanne, you've been with Hospice for many years too.
About 17. I started out as a social worker up here in Hernando County. I was the social worker for the nursing homes here for Hospice.
Okay.
And then from there became a social work supervisor, and now I'm the clinical manager for the West Hernando campus.
Okay. Can you tell us why you stayed with Hospice for so long? I mean, you must really enjoy the work.
I think that, you know, in your life, your different jobs you have, because of course with 17 years there were other jobs before that. When you come to Hospice, you find out that it's not a job, it's really a calling. It's it just, one of my social workers in the past once said that having this job completed her. And I think that's what most of our staff feels, that and that's why I'm still with Hospice.
Well, I think no matter who you ask in Hernando County, if you mention Hospice to them, they have kind of a warm spot in their heart for the organization, because they've either personally experienced the services or they know someone who has and have talked to someone about the services that they provide. What do you think, Suzanne, what do you think makes Hospice such a special organization?
Again, I think it's the staff a lot, that because when you do a job such as this, it is something that you take into your heart. And I think that's what makes Hospice so special and so unique, because it isn't just a job. It is a caring that you provide for your community.
By its very nature, it's a very compassionate sort of a service.
Yes.
So the people who work there have to have a lot of compassion.
Yes, they do, and they do.
When you meet people in the community and you say you work for Hospice, many times they'll say, oh, that must be so depressing. And it's anything but depressing. You meet such wonderful patients, wonderful families, and you help them on their journey.
It's very uplifting.
It's a journey we all have to take,
right.
And we can help them be comfortable and come to grips with what's going on.
Okay. Well, Rose, tell us a little bit about the mission of Hospice, in case there's someone out there that's watching that really isn't too familiar with the services it does provide. Can you kind of summarize it for us?
Hospice provides care at the patient's end of life, and we focus on living. We have nurses, we have nurses' aides, we have social workers, we have chaplains, we have volunteers, we have bereavement workers, and we work as a strong team together to support not only the patient and their family. We help patients refocus their goals, because our patients are not going to get better. We help them think about what's important to them for whatever time they have, which we all should do, and help them accomplish those goals that they've set for themselves.
Okay. It's such a difficult time, you know, when a family is going through the imminent loss of a loved one, and it's hard to think about all of the things that they have to think about during that time. So the social workers and all of the staff at Hospice kind of help them go through as you said, that journey to make those difficult decisions. How has hospice grown over the years? I'm sure probably when it started 25 years ago, like how many people were involved with it on the staff?
I don't really know the staff number, but when I started in 1986, we had 25 patients in the whole agency, only 4 in Hernando County. Today we have over 300 patients in Hernando County and nearly 1,000 in our whole agency.
Wow.
So we've grown by leaps and bounds, and of course the staff increased to meet those needs.
It provides services in both Pasco and Hernando.
And Citrus County.
And Citrus now.
Yes.
Is that just a recent addition, the Citrus County addition?
Yeah. Let me see. We went into Citrus in February of 2008.
Okay.
And opened an office up there.
So in Hernando alone, there's like, did you say an average of 300 some patients per day that you care for?
A little more than 300.
Okay. And at any given time, the total number of patients that you're caring for is
1,000.
1,000. Okay. So how many people on staff does that require to provide all those services?
A lot. Here in Hernando, we have probably about 250, I'd say, employees.
Yes.
And then plus the employees,
400.
we have over 400 volunteers so that are helping us provide the care for our patients.
So you obviously couldn't provide the services without the volunteers that
not
you
at
have.
all. They are such a needed part for this organization. They are needed in just about every aspect you can think of. This is one organization that Medicare requires you to have volunteers, truly. And they answer phones for us, they do filing for us, they do patient care for us, they have they cook at our houses and our care centers for us, they are greeters. Their jobs, just whatever they would like to do, there's usually that job that is needed for them.
Yeah.
And I would assume you have someone who is the coordinator of all the volunteers, right? Who
We have
recruits the
several
volunteers,
coordinators.
trains
Right.
them. And
We have a coordinator in each office, so I have a coordinator in mine, and then there's a coordinator up in the Brooksville office, and they go through a 16-hour training period.
The volunteers.
The volunteer.
Okay.
Right.
In fact, you have a volunteer training coming up soon.
We do in
June,
Brooksville.
mid-June, right?
Yes.
Okay. I think June 16th and 17th is
Right.
what I saw.
I think Ann is doing that in the Brooksville office.
16th and
so.
18th. Okay.
Yeah.
So what type of person are you looking for a volunteer to work with hospice? Who would be a good candidate to be a volunteer for
You'd
hospice?
be great, Brenda.
Anyone
when
with
I
a warm
retire.
heart. Because we have such diverse areas for them to help us in, it's anyone with a warm heart that wants to give their time to help our patients and families. There's so many different areas that we can use just about anyone.
What if someone says, "Oh, I'd like to give my time, but I just don't think I could take it. It's so sad." What would you have to say to somebody that says that?
We would start someone that feels that way probably in one of our offices or in the care center doing non-patient contact initially. Although many people that say that, once they go through the volunteer training, have a change of heart. They see what a warm, wonderful environment it is, and the reward that you get personally with patient contact. And many times they'll change their minds and do patient care. Patient support.
And it's not a depressing situation many times. It can be a very uplifting situation, especially if they feel like they've had something to do with encouraging someone or uplifting someone else or someone's family. It's very rewarding, as you said.
Right. When I first started as a hospice nurse, I remember families saying to me, "Thank you for making this a wonderful experience," and I was shocked at that. But then when I stopped to think, that's truly what we do. We help them to focus on their love for the person that's dying and help them communicate their love to that person. So we do make it a wonderful experience for both the patient and the family.
One of the things that's helped to make it a better experience certainly is the new facility that you have that you just opened a few months ago here in Hernando County, the health care center, or the care center you refer to it as. Tell us about the property here in Hernando County that's located on Cortez Boulevard West